The defence case is that this is not a murder. And that's still what I say to you now. Nothing has changed. It was an accidental death that took place in the context of sexual activities that, if done incorrectly by inexperienced and or intoxicated people, can go wrong. Now, we know that the pair matched initially through the cell phone dating app Tinder, and so they agreed to meet up at Sky City later that day, and they did. Just before they left Mexican Cafe, Ms. Millane came over and moved behind him to his left side. She appears to touch the small of his back as she does so. And you might have thought, if you picked up that interaction between them, that that was a sign of affection and a sign that things were going really well. And they walk into the city life basically in embrace, all smiles. Again, suggest to you that that's a very revealing picture as to how well things were going, and that there was a genuine connection between these two young people that night. And yes, as the Crown seems to accept, they were probably going back to his place to continue being intimate and to have sexual relations with each other. And this leads us into the practice of putting pressure on a sexual partner's neck. Another word for it, erotic, or term for it, erotic asphyxiation, breath play. The Crown case hinges on he knew that she must have been unresponsive. But in fact, we'll come to the timing in a minute, but the evidence on the timing is just not clear at all. Because a person who is being strangled against their will fight. If they can't use their hands, they will fight in any way they can, including in their neck, their muscles. And that's why you see damage to the deeper muscle structures when people are being assaulted. I think you would by and large expect to see something. Not here. Yes, a person can bleed from the nose if sustained pressure is placed on their neck. Yes, a person can bleed. It won't be a torrent of blood. It may be like a dripping tap, and it may continue sometime after death. So that is one possibility. So then we come to what he did afterwards. He lied, and he tried to cover it up. There's no dispute about that. He himself owned that on the 8th of December. Precisely the sort of high-stress, unexpected situation that human beings, fallible as we are, can get it wrong. He did that because he feared he wouldn't be believed. He made that decision, selfish as it may have been, was not the right thing to do. You're not going to get any argument from the defence about that. Because if you accept that it's a possibility, that he acted out of panic, that he made the wrong call, he didn't think he'd be believed, the point of discovery of Ms. Millane's death is that pivot point, where whatever intention or state of mind there was could change as a result of a fear of not being believed and panic. Crown has to prove to each and every one of you, to the point where you are sure on this critical issue of intention, that there was murderous intent at the pivotal time. And the defence says to you that this is not a murder. It's a tragic, unintended, unforeseen accident. And so ultimately, members of the jury, it may well be that when you go out into that deliberation room and you sit down and you go through all the evidence, that you come to the view where you say, you know what, I'm just not sure about this. And if you do, and if that is the view that you come to, that you're not sure, then the community requires you to acquit this defendant of murder. That is justice too.